we're trying to pick up other ways that they interact with frequency because they're just not doing it loud enough or in a way. Like, when I speak, obviously air is moving through my voice box, which is vibrating, which is causing that to happen. Obviously, they don't have this. But the idea is that they're communicating by changing other aspects of the world around us.
Yeah, well, one of the interesting things that you just mentioned, I'm pushing air through your voice box. One of the really cool things that we've discovered I mentioned earlier about the voices of people who are alive coming through ghost boxes. Mm-hmm. You can actually, I've got 3 examples on my site, ITC Voices, where you can listen to the person's voice coming through a ghost box and then the person saying the communication directly afterwards. And one of them is so crystal clear that I ran it through a spectrogram. And you can actually see the lines of frequency, and they match up pretty much going all the way up, which blows my mind because when you think about it, everybody's voice is different. It's like a fingerprint, and it requires that whole action and that whole thing of pushing air through the lungs and through the vocal cords and whatnot. So if you've got a voice coming through a ghost box and the voice of a person living and the frequencies match up, that blows my mind because it just should not be possible.
So what you're saying is that, like on an audio recording, we'll see the peaks and the valleys of the person's voice and the timbre. And you're saying that the spectral graph, where we're basically looking at the effect on the carrier signal, is basically peaking out and valleying out in the same ways?
Correct.
Yeah, that's wild. That is wild.
It is. Yeah, it really is, which tells me that somehow either it is a perfect imitation of a voice, or the consciousness that is coming through the box, it could be from another breathing entity somewhere, whether we have, I don't know, doppelgangers in another dimension of ourselves. I simply don't know. We have no idea how this communication is being formulated from the other side. It's been predicted. There were several transmediums in the 30s who predicted that radios would allow communication from the other side, and that it would allow the emanations from the other side to be made audible for us through radio. This was predicted in the 30s and by transmediums, and it's finally come to fruition. We are now there. It started in the 50s with EVP, and now we can actually have real two-way communication, real two-way conversations in real time.